Power Rangers has changed a lot lately. Since Hasbro acquired the rights, they have tried to create a better structure in this universe by highlighting the connection between seasons. On top of that, the comics have helped further expand the lore of this franchise, and these same concepts have been brought to television. The inclusion of the Morphin Masters and the Emissaries showed us that there was a hierarchy of power within the Morphin Grid, and that the Rangers are just the first rung on this ladder. In this video we will mention and explain the various hierarchies that exist within the Power Rangers universe and what role they play. It must be clarified that this video was made based on statements that have been made both in the TV series and in the comics, so this is not an official list, but it will not serve as a basis until Hasbro decides to create one. Without further ado, let's get started. We start with the empowered. These are people who have a connection to the Morphin Grid, but who do not have Ranger powers. During Necessary Evil we discover that Lord Drakkon fractured the Morphin Grid, causing it to grant powers to various beings in the universe. These beings obtained a considerable improvement in their strength, endurance, agility and speed. Unfortunately, since they did not have a morpher to channel this power, they could not control it correctly and became a threat. Rita Repulsa, Kia, Garrison Vox, Yale, Ninjor and the Phantom Ranger are some of these beings that have a connection to the Morphin Grid without needing to use a morpher. The power levels of these beings vary between each user, but in general, and except for the aforementioned examples, they are not usually as strong as an average Power Ranger. In second place are the Power Rangers. Here we must include the normal Rangers, 6th Rangers and Extra Rangers, since in most cases, these usually respond to the Red Ranger. Unlike the empowered, the Rangers have a morpher which allows them to regulate their morphic energy. Each set of morphers has a unique connection to the Morphin Grid and allows them to deploy a unique set of abilities. As you know, there are Rangers capable of controlling time, using magic, advanced technology. And there are even some living beings that have been enhanced by the Morphin Grid, such as dinosaurs or some animals. In addition to morphers, there are other special objects capable of absorbing energy from the grid, such as ZEO crystals, Orion lights, Dino gemmas, and power stars. The Rangers' powers vary depending on their connection to the Morphin Grid, with some Rangers being stronger than others. In Go-Go Power Rangers and the mainline comics we discover that the Morphin Grid grants the Rangers superhuman strength, the ability to travel great distances in seconds, the ability to breathe underwater, the ability to move freely through the space, in addition to the fact that the suits have life support that purifies the air in the environment, in addition to being able to help its user survive without food and water for several days. The Rangers are responsible for protecting their respective home planets from any external threat. Whether they are aliens, demons, monsters, mutants, etc. In some stories and video games it has been shown that Ranger powers evolve over time if their wielder retains them for several years. This characteristic is mostly remembered in the Power Rangers ZEO, but it is not exclusive to them, since the Mighty Morphin Green Ranger Level 2, the Ranger Slayer, the future Omega Ranger and the SPD Red Fire Squad Ranger are powered versions of Rangers already acquaintances. Although it is true that there are 6th Rangers or Extra Rangers who are as or more powerful than the Red Rangers, in hierarchical order, these are usually below the team leader. To finish with this step, we must remember that a Ranger can have more than one connection to the Morphin Grid, either because they change their powers over the seasons or because they combine the powers of 2 or more Rangers. Above the main Rangers is the Red Ranger, who is usually the leader of the team in most cases. These characters stand out for being the bravest, most focused and most capable of the team. These prove to have a stronger connection with the Morphin Grid by being able to defeat the rest of the Rangers, in addition to this strong connection with the network giving them an augmentation mode or a battler armor. Over the years we have met several extremely powerful Red Rangers, and they are usually the ones who defeat the main villains of each season. On this same step we could include the Mighty Morphin White Ranger, the White Alien Ranger and the Time Force Pink Ranger, since the three were leaders of their respective teams despite not wearing the color red. On the fourth step we can find the mentors, who are the ones who direct the team and guide the rangers so that they make correct use of their powers. Most mentors do not usually actively participate on the battlefield, but there are some exceptions such as Shadow Ranger and Dino Thunder Black Ranger. Likewise, mentors are usually responsible for delivering their morphers to the rangers, and in some cases, they are the ones who create this technology. Although it is true that mentors lose importance as the series progresses, it is necessary to recognize their importance within the hierarchy, because without them, many ranger teams would not exist. Above the Power Rangers are the Omega Rangers, one of the most powerful teams of all. The morphers of the Omega Rangers were created by the Emissaries so that there was a group of heroes that could face the greatest threats in the universe. So far we have met two versions of the Omega Rangers. The originals, which used to fight cosmic beings capable of destroying entire planets, and the current ones made up of Jason, Trini, Zack and Yale. Upon obtaining these powers, the boys claimed that they were much stronger than when they were the Mighty Rangers. On top of that, Jason managed to defeat the White Ranger in combat using these same powers. The Omega Rangers do not have a mentor and answer only to the Emissaries. Their Zords are made with a special technology that allows them to combine with any other Zord of any generation. Most Power Rangers protect their home planet. The Space and Galaxy Rangers protect specific sectors of the galaxy. Instead, the Omega Rangers are tasked with protecting the entire universe. The exploits of this team have earned them legendary status, and even though they disappeared for eons, their adventures continue to be chronicled throughout the universe. Above the Omega Ranger are the Solar Rangers, those who managed to defeat one of the Morphin Masters. When the Morphin Masters dominated the Morphin Grid, they discovered that there was a universe that had ZEO crystals the size of a planet. To prevent anyone from trying to misuse their power, they decided to isolate this universe, which became known as the Void. One of the Morphin Masters would stay there to guard the crystals, creating a team of rangers like no other. The Solar Rangers are, to date, the rangers who have the most powerful connection to the Morphin Grid. That's because their morphs are powered by a solid piece of the morph network. Thanks to this, the powers of the Solar Rangers are practically indestructible. These can even absorb the morphic energy of other rangers and empowered ones to become even more powerful. They are able to control the energy of the grid to such a degree that they can create matter from nothing. When the Morphin Master who traveled to the Void was corrupted by loneliness, a new team of Solar Rangers was created, and thanks to their incredible powers, they managed to defeat one of the most powerful villains in the entire franchise, one who was capable of controlling the Morphin Grid. Despite having a power that even surpasses that of the Emissaries, the Solar Rangers are not on a higher rung, since they are only responsible for protecting their home universe and rarely participate in multiversal events. The Emissaries used to be members of the Morphin Masters race, but thanks to the Phantom Ranger, they managed to gain access to the Morphin Grid to become the first Power Rangers in history. Their morphers had a limiter to prevent excess energy from getting out of control. By removing this limiter, Rion, Orizanth, Firo, Telos, XEV, and Alea became the Emissaries, energy beings sworn to protect the universe from Dark Spectre and the forces of evil. As such, Emissaries are those who connect humanity to the Morphin Masters. These have the ability to manifest the weapons and suits of all the Power Rangers. They can travel through time, space and different realities. They are also responsible for infusing Earth with the Morphin Grid, which is why so many Earth Rangers exist, as well as being the reason Dark Spectre can't get close to that planet. The Emissaries are responsible for maintaining the balance between good and evil. That is why they do not usually interfere unless there is a threat that could destroy the multiverse or the Morphin Grid. Because they are beings with the obligation to maintain balance, they have an evil counterpart. When the Emissaries are killed, the Imperials appear, beings of immense power who eliminate life from the planets to maintain birth control. These beings are extremely dangerous, and even Lord Drakkon has confessed that he is afraid of them. It is believed that by destroying the Imperials, the emissaries will return to life. Although we have only seen the blue emissary return from death after defeating his evil side. The emissaries were responsible for giving the Morphin Masters the knowledge of how to create Power Rangers. Additionally, they created some of the first Morphers and Ranger teams that existed in the universe. These are directly responsible for making the Phantom Ranger and Zordon meet. In addition to the Omega Rangers, they are believed to have participated in the creation of the Space Rangers, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Alien Rangers, the Sonic Rangers, and the Prism Rangers. The Morphin Masters were the first race in the universe to discover how to use the Morphin Grid. When Dark Spectre attacked one of their colonies, the Morphin Masters retreated inside the Morphin Grid. There, they studied the network based on the work of Morphinaut, the discoverer of this energy. Thanks to this, they became the most advanced race in the Mudlivers and decided to become the protectors of the Morphin Grid. As such, these beings do not directly interfere with things happening throughout the multiverse, although they are responsible for the creation of some ranger teams such as the Solar Rangers and the Dino Fury Rangers. These beings have managed to fully master the power of the Morphin Grid, so they are capable of using it to travel through time, space and the multiverse. It is unknown if these beings can die, but taking into account that it is an entire race and in their recent appearances there are only a few, it is likely that they can. Morphin Masters have the ability to grant Ranger powers to those they deem worthy, in addition to having extremely advanced mastery of magic and technology. If you saw Dino Fury, you know that the Green Master is responsible for saving the lives of many Rangers, and has also given several of them their powers back. As time has passed, the Morphin Masters have decided to put aside their anonymity to more actively interfere in the fight against evil. At the end of Cosmic Fury, we see Zatu go on to become a Morphin Master, proving that some humans can ascend to this status. Above the Morphin Masters are the Ancient Six, the highest-ranking members of the Morphin Masters. These beings recently debuted in Power Rangers Unlimited, the Morphin Masters, and are presented to us as the most powerful beings we have seen so far. According to what the Emissaries said, the six Ancients live in the heart of the Morphin Grid, safe from any danger. They completely master all the secrets of the Morphosis network, although it seems that all that power has clouded their judgment since they are incapable of starting a conversation. The six Ancients are beings who have transcended beyond the physical plane. Unlike the other Morphin Masters and the Emissaries, these beings do not interfere under any circumstances with the problems of humanity, even if it means the destruction of the multiverse. Little is known about these beings, but we may learn more about them at the end of Darkest Hour. But for now, these are the most important beings in the Ranger universe since they are recognized as such by the two previous positions. We hope to have more information about these beings in future stories. For now, that's all for this video. We hope this information helps you better understand the Power Rangers universe.